Conspiracy theories, eh? Wait till you get a load of this. Hello, and welcome to Sisters Conspiracies. We're a podcast that covers conspiracy theories and mysteries and all over spooky shit. My name is Cassandra.
And I'm Jackie.
And we are said sisters.
Fuck off! I got her and me matching sweatshirts for her birthday.
Is there something questionable that needs to be opened?
Yes, there is. So this was lovely gift wrapped before the TSA agent ruined it and then couldn't get it back together. And I told him to please stop trying. So this, I had a feeling was going to get flagged at the airport, and it did. So I kept it very easily located. And then he opened the lid and then he just looked at it and I just burst into laughing. And then he flipped it over because he asked me what it was, and I told him, and I don't think he believed me. And then he just very silently closed it back together and was fumbling, and then just gave it back to me.
So my first
guesses
instinct is it has something to do with dicks.
Quite possibly.
Beyond that, it's hefty. It's a little concerning. I don't even know where to guess with this. So we're just gonna give it a go here.
No one can see. Oh, that's like the pizza box.
Fuck off!
So that was the first thing he saw.
It's just
with the top.
It's a top. Okay, is it a stamp?
It's a stamp.
Oh, okay.
And then I got you another little ink pad
with my address in it. Oh, I'm not gonna put that up.
So technically, I had to do this twice. This is my first/second time ever making a stamp.
I was gonna say this looks handmade. You can't see the quality, but
it's too blurry anyway.
Yeah.
The backside has everything. No, like the backside of the physical stamp. That's
okay.
That was my first attempt. I didn't realize you had to mirror the words.
Because
I watched extensive videos, but in the video automatically unmirrored.
So you can see what...
So you could see what she was doing, but I thought that meant that I didn't have to mirror it. And so I did the best work on the first one, and then it was a little bit more janky, but technically...
Well, I love it. I will cherish it forever. And yeah, I'll send something your way with it. Post haste.
Perfect.
Love it. Oh, and an ink pad. In one of the colors in our wheelhouse, because we went and got color analysis done as a birthday gift, which was a lot of fun.
It was.
Very interesting. We are both autumns.
What's the verdict?
I am an autumn.
Interesting.
Yes.
We are in the same category for everything. The only thing we differ on is personal taste.
True. I have it, you don't.
And apparently we're not allowed... Wait, what? And apparently we're not allowed to wear black. So
no, which is the only color I own.
Yes. All right. So for my topic, I was going to cover this like a year ago and couldn't find the motivation to actually do it. So I circled back to it now.
Okay.
And it's a topic that's been on American Horror Story, which is funny because we just finished watching a show
called The Watcher.
Yes. Which is produced by...
Good fucking God.
Ryan Murphy, who created American Horror Story. I did not watch this particular season because I got burnt out after like the third season of it. And that was really the only reason I had heard about it. Any guesses on what it could be?
Covenant?
No.
That may have been the third
season. I think I watched that one.
Hotel Cecil?
Nope.
I haven't really kept up with it. The Apocalypse?
No.
The gay one?
No.
I don't know.
The Lost Colony of Roanoke.
Oh, I hated that season.
Well, it doesn't sound like I missed out on too much then.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm like, I made a note.
Massive, by the way.
It's like blind. I put a note here because what I do is I write notes as if it's like just the thoughts straight out. And then I'm like, this is not how I would normally speak to a person.
Oh,
I made a note. I'm like, oh, I'm realizing there's a missed opportunity for Gracie here because she just did a project in North Carolina and she totally could have incorporated that into her slideshow. She had to make a commercial and stuff. Roanoke is in North Carolina.
There we go. That's the information I was missing.
But anywho, it was still fresh on the mind when I did my note.
Okay.
So, the lost colony of Roanoke blends a bit of history with a lot of mystery. I know. I use my big brain power for that. And it's something that is still unsolved as of today.
Okay. Oh my God, I hope that noise was recorded.
That came from
The depths of hell bubbling up to the surface.
Oh my God. Shit.
Why don't you collect yourself and try that sentence again?
This goes way, way back in time to the 1580s. So back then, England was ruled by Queen Elizabeth I.
Okay.
And she wanted to establish a foothold in the New World, i.e. America.
Okay.
So everyone was like, let's go check out that place. The main motivation for her is she wanted to rival Spain in getting a foothold there because Christopher Columbus had already led the charge, and Spain began arriving in the New World almost 100 years earlier in the 1490s. So it's like, got to get your shit together if you want to catch up. England had sent some explorers previously who made it all the way there. It was a few years after Columbus had landed, but they had not yet settled or established a colony there, like officially, until much later. So they tried, but they weren't super successful. There was an attempt by Sir Walter Raleigh to found a colony in North America in 1585, but there were food shortages and a lack of warm embrace from the indigenous people, you know, who lived in America before all of us people.
Yes.
And it ended up resulting in a catastrophic failure. They were not successful in establishing anything here.
Okay.
So they tried again a few years later in 1587 with a second expedition led by Governor John White, and it was a bit more successful than the initial attempt. He arrived in the New World, which is now North Carolina, with about 115 colonists, so men, women, and children. So they had a little bit of everything, and they were hell-bent on getting an English settlement established. White's own daughter, Eleanor Dare, came along as well and ended up giving birth to a woman named Virginia Dare.
Gave birth to a woman?
Or to a person who would eventually, no, actually, I don't know, to a girl named Virginia Dare, who was the first English child born in the Americas.
Oh, that's cool.
And with that, the colony of Roanoke had been born.
So where did the name Roanoke come from?
We're not there yet.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Do I talk about it?
Okay, we'll find out.
I wrote these a few weeks ago, and then, like, oof, out it went. Oh, right. So, like the first attempt at colonization, they started to experience some of the same issues that caused the first attempt to fail. So their food was becoming sparse, supplies were running low, and tensions with the local tribes were increasing. White, who was also a literal white man, knew more trouble was ahead and needed help. So he decided he was going to sail back to England to, you know, get some more people and get some aid and get more supplies. And in doing so, left his daughter and granddaughter back in the Americas and everyone else.
Okay.
His timing could not have been worse.
Oh, no.
Because the Anglo-Spanish War had broken out and the threat of the Spanish Armada was lingering. And so he was not able to sail the seas back to America. And it took him a couple of years to get back.
Jesus Christ.
He wasn't able to go back until 1590.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah. Upon his return, though, so when he eventually got there, he was in both shock and awe to discover that the entire colony was gone.
Wow.
And the area was completely deserted, and there was no glaringly obvious reason as to why. The main fort in the colony had been dismantled, but not destroyed. So it was like carefully taken apart, which indicates that it was like planned and orderly departure. It wasn't like the native tribes like ravaged the area and forced them out or anything like that. There was no sign of a struggle. That pizza and salad really working its way back up. The why of what happened and the why they left was unknown. To add an additional layer of mystery, the word Croatoan was carved into a fence post along with crow, C-R-O, and carved into a tree. As part of the colonization prep, White had communicated that if shit were to go sideways and they needed to get out like really quickly, they had an internal emergency exit plan.
Okay.
So they were supposed to carve a Maltese cross as a distress signal to be discovered. So it's like, okay, we need to leave, something really bad is happening. So for whoever comes, after us, they know that we left for bad reasons.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like leaving like really gnarly breadcrumbs for someone else to find.
Okay.
But in looking in what had been carved and left behind, they couldn't find the sign of that cross.
Mhm.
So there was really no indication that anything bad happened, but
Yeah.
they still didn't know why.
Did he know what that word was?
No. And that's the thing. No one knew what that word was, and they weren't able to figure it out.
What was the word? Can I see that?
Croatoan.
I was trying to see if I could spell something backwards. Not really.
Yeah. So by all accounts, it looked like the departure of the colony in full had been planned. Back then, there was a place called Croatoan Island. That's what it was.
Fucking idiots. So maybe they left and went to that island?
It's now called Hatteras Island, which is the same word, Croatoan, that was carved into the fence. I just hadn't
We're both learning the story.
And I'm telling you, it was so interesting when I wrote it, and then I hadn't thought about it since. White was aware of the existence of Croatoan Island, so I guess it wasn't a mystery to him. So his thought was, oh shit, maybe that's where they went, and I should sail there and go check it out. He thought it was a clue that they had left behind to signal where they had gone. But this guy just can't catch a break in any of his rescue attempts because the stormy seas hinder that plan. And he was ultimately forced to sail back to England, and he never saw his daughter and granddaughter or the other colonists ever again.
Okay. That's not how I thought that was going to go.
So it was pretty much, I'm going to leave to go get help. Y'all stay here and stay alive. I finally came back. Everyone's gone. Let me go try to help. Nope. So I'm just, hands in the air. I'm done.
Did he send anybody in his place?
I don't think
let's find out together.
Yeah,
when we get a little further.
That's really good questions, but I don't know if I have the answer.
Okay.
So what happened to the colonists?
Great question.
Did they leave? Were they completely wiped out? Were they abducted by aliens?
Ooh.
The answer to that question is this. No one knows,
including you.
There are certainly some theories that have been developed over time, but the question has never definitively been answered. The most prominent and widely accepted theory is that the colony ended up assimilating with the natives and joined the Croatoan tribe.
Okay.
Stories that had been passed down from various tribes suggested ancestors of the tribe spanning back over the years included those with more European features, so like white male features or just white features instead of native features.
Yeah.
Things like light eyes, light skin. English words had also been noted as having existed historically within those tribes as well. And it's like, how would you have known that without being introduced to them in some way?
Yeah.
So further exploration of the Hatteras Island, which was formerly Croatoan Island, also uncovered European items. So whether they came from the original Roanoke colony, though, or, from some other settlers, they can't determine that. So that's not a definitive, yes, it was them.
So them searching for it and not finding it makes me think that White went back and said, I couldn't do it. I give up. Does someone else want to go maybe try?
Yeah, well, eventually it sounds like that happened, but not specifically called out.
I got it.
Because this was, in looking back historically, it's been passed down.
Okay.
Another theory suggests that the colony as a whole ultimately fell victim to starvation or a disease, or they just kind of died off, which is possible because it was a while before he came back.
That's true.
Supplies were dwindling, and they may not have been successful in attempting to hunt or gather or replenish their supplies themselves because, they're like English people who can't do anything. So, that's the impression that I have, at least. I don't know. Adding to that, there was a notable drought in the area that happened from 1587 to 1589. So, like, right as they got there.
Are you hiding?
Oh, no.
Just slowly getting out of frame.
Right as they got there, and all the water dried up. So they were just off to a bad start. And that had been later verified via tree ring analysis to help support the theory.
Fancy.
Some theorize that the colony had just moved on from the area, relocating and migrating to other areas in America. The ultimate destination where they originally set sail was actually in Chesapeake Bay.
Okay.
But the historical records later indicated that tribes in Virginia had English captives, which could have possibly been those from Roanoke. The more funny theory, funny? The more interesting theory suggests that the colony fell victim to witchcraft, curses, and other forms of supernatural intervention because of the lack of definitive answers. And the carved word Croatoan became a thing of legend and was often whispered in hushed tones in connection with curses on the colony. And
it was just them saying where they went. It's not a secret.
But, like, what if someone who is not familiar with these people or Croatoan who were, like, coming from the West, were like, what is this? This isn't a word that we speak. And
I mean, I guess, but we know.
I know, but I don't know.
Okay.
Some people didn't think so, and they thought it was witchcraft.
Okay.
Edgar Allan Poe. Oh, that's a raven, not a fucking idiot. Allegedly whispered it before his death in 1849.
He whispered Croatoan?
Yeah, apparently.
No, he did not.
That's what they said.
No, he did not.
And it was even claimed to be scribbled in Amelia Earhart's journal, which, by the way, did you see that Trump said he was going to, like, release the files on Amelia Earhart? Anything but the Epstein files.
No, but she was found.
Neither of these claims have actually been verified.
The ones we just said?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Edgar Allan Poe and the Amelia Earhart.
The Edgar Allan Poe.
How do you know?
It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's so spooky, though.
Because it's not real.
The failure and disappearance of Roanoke ended up paving the way for future colonization attempts, with Jamestown ultimately being successful in 1607. But still, no one really knows what the hell happened. There were no bodies, no definitive evidence, just a single eerie word left behind. Realistically, I can see it being a combination of things.
What do you think it is?
What do I think it is? Past self? Mainly the whole...
Oh, you know it's the next sentence?
I think they, like, died. I think they starved, succumbed to the elements, and they just, like, perished.
I would agree with that.
And why they, like, dismantled the like, main center area, that I don't know, unless they're like, well, we're all gonna die. But
well, didn't they dismantle it in the first place they went?
The first attempt? What do you...
No, where was the first place they went?
It was Roanoke.
Oh, no, there we go. So wasn't it in when White got back? Roanoke.
Yeah, that's when it had been taken apart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they wrote Croatian or whatever.
Croatoan on a fence.
So I think they dismantled it because they were going to Croatoan, which they very clearly stated.
Okay.
And then they packed up their shit, went to this new place, and then died because they had no water, they had no food.
I mean, they probably did go die on the island, but, like, if you know you're leaving, why, like, tear down the structure? Why not just leave it in place?
Well, maybe they needed the supplies.
Maybe.
I don't like this theory at all. I'm finding a lot of plot holes with the story. And I also don't remember anything about the episode.
I'm like, yeah, what context do you have?
The forest? Was it the forest?
In North Carolina? Yeah, North Carolina is foresty.
That's the only part of the season I remember. I don't remember anything about it.
Well, it doesn't look like you're missing out on much, and they are still missing, never to be found again from hundreds of years ago. I just thought it was weird that a whole, like, colony of people disappeared, but, like...
Definitely, yeah.
But if you, like, think on it for a few seconds, like, there is a logical reason or two, and the most likely answer is probably the correct one, but it's not as fun. You have to, like, add a little mustard to it.
Wyatt was like, I tried. I don't care about my extended family anymore.
Right?
I'm just going to live out
my child and grandchild. And, like, because there was no wife that came along, I'm like, did she die too? So, like, you just don't give a shit about the women in your life.
Probably not. He probably killed him.
Probably. Or she died of scurvy on the journey or something.
Maybe.
That didn't come up in conversation.
Done childbirth?
Possibly. Maybe he would have just left the baby to a pack of wolves or something.
He seems to be leaving his entire
I know.
family,
So, you know, whatever.
I wouldn't put it past him.
So the next episode that we're going to record, because you're here,
Yeah.
is going to be a Killer's Quarterly episode.
Which will be coming up before...
Is it before or after this?
No, it's before. This Killer's Quarterly is the next episode to be released.
So
and then this is after. We're in the future.
Okay. Yeah, the timeline was throwing me off, but that'll be fun.
Yes.
And then After that, we will resume our normally scheduled content.
Well, that's this. This is our revelation of our normal scheduled content.
Okay, so that's right. Are we going to talk about who we're going to talk about next now, or are we going to save it for the episode?
Let's save it, because by the time this comes out, we've already talked about it.
That's true.
I feel like you're not grasping what I'm saying.
We're not saying who we're talking about right now because it will have already happened. So it does. Yeah.
There you go.
Cool. What are you looking at your phone for then? You look like you have a note.
No, now I have.
What's your Right. Regularly scheduled programming. What's your next topic?
Future episode will come out at some point in October, and there was something I wanted to do for October, but now I can't remember what it is, so it's a surprise.
For Halloween?
Yeah. It was like a Halloween specific episode that I've been wanting to do, and right now at the top of my head I can't think of what it is.
Oh, that was really anticlimactic.
But
I'm like, oh, she's got it written down.
no, I don't. I was just looking at my running. I can try to look for a second. Hold on. I know. No, I can't see it.
Okay, well.
You'll have to stay tuned.
Please don't abandon us. Clearly we need help with our topics though.
Yes.
So feel free to reach out and provide any suggestions you may have. I don't think we've gotten a suggestion or recommendation
To have this podcast.
other than the people in our like immediate and like quasi circle that physically know.
Yes.
So
I'm quite disappointed in
if
all of
you're out there, if you're listening, let us know.
Yeah, help us.
But yeah, you can find us on various forms of social media, except for TikTok. You can also send us a good old-fashioned email, crackssistersconspiracies@gmail.com. Do we still have a website? I think I got charged a lot of money recently.
No, the website was through Canva, and I don't think it exists anymore.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what you got charged a lot of money for. We have our domain, which is like $2.99.
Usually, but then there's like a bigger GoDaddy thing. I don't know. I
Just look into that.
know. It's been a few years. That shit's been on autopilot. Jesus Christ, this fell off the tracks real quick.
Yep.
Like that person that got killed.
They cracked y'all. Oh my goodness.